Hello and welcome back to another episode of Craven Some Raven, and in this episode I'm going to be breaking down this Thursday night matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Ravens, or should I say Jets or Ravens. I mean, come on, let's be real. How many of their players are former Ravens players? I honestly don't know. I think the list might be over 10. Yeah, C.J. Mosley. I can't name them all. Is it C.J. Mosley, right? No. I know they have Maurice Kennedy, Alex Lewis, that one guy who we signed and then he retired at the beginning of the year. I know that guy. What's 88? Either way, they have a bunch of guys that used to be the Ravens, even though I know I just listed like 4 guys, but it still is, it's just, there's no other team combo where it's like, oh, this one team has so many of their ex-players. It's kind of ridiculous, but I mean, it makes sense. The Ravens are a great organization. They know how to draft. They bring in a ton of guys, and their general manager is Joe Douglas, who used to be with the Ravens, who he went to the Eagles after us, and then he became the GM of the Jets. So the Jets, I mean, they're trying to do stuff. They're trying to emulate a great organization by not only taking their players, but also taking their scouts. You know what? Good on them. Now, I think the Jets' immediate future isn't bright because they have Adam Gase. I never understand, why would you hire a coach that failed at his last job? I mean, did he or did he not fail for the Dolphins? And then you're going to give him a job? I mean, Jets, what are you doing? Inside Division 2? Like, they're in the same division. So you saw him firsthand how trash Adam Gase was. I never understood that signing, so I think the Jets have a great future under Joe Douglas and whatever coach is not Adam Gase. But as of right now, it is very mono-getting type of team. So, hey, Baltimore people, Baltimore ladies, you should go out, try and find Sam Darnold while he's in town, make out with him, give him mono, because apparently he's susceptible to it. I don't really know. I know there's all sorts of other drama too. Him just making out with chicks, which is cool. That's awesome. There you go, Sam Darnold. But hey, if it distracts you from the game, I say, Baltimoreans, ladies, go after him. Go after Sam Darnold. Get him off his game. But that's not really breaking down this game. I guess it is. I'm talking about it. Isn't that all that there is? But this is a Thursday night matchup, and as much as you can't overlook any game, this is the game you can't overlook. I mean, imagine if the Ravens lose to the Jets. I think every Ravens fan, everybody who watches the NFL would say this is the Ravens game. And if they were to lose this, I don't even know what to do with my life. I mean, this is a game that you cannot lose. And I've heard some people talking about, should they sit Lamar Jackson? No. I believe he should play every single game until the end of the year, hoping that we do get that that first round bye, and that will be your bye week. But I wouldn't entertain the idea until they've locked up home field advantage, until they've firmly locked up the number 1 seed in the league. They haven't done that yet. They can do it this week if they beat the Jets, and I think the Pats and the Chiefs lose. I think then they lock up the number 1 seed. But as of right now, they can't do that. And if they lock up the 1 seed, let's say if it happens this week, next week, I would say play 1/2. If you're going to play that whole sit-em game, I would say treat it kind of like a week 3 preseason game. Let Lamar play the first half in those last 2 games, and then put in RG3 or Trace McSorley. I would say more likely put in RG3, because I think he's going to be a free agent. I don't know about this year, but eventually he is going to be able to recoup value in either draft picks or maybe another player. Eric DeCosta definitely has shown that he has the knack for getting something for a player. And so if your team is good enough and you already have solidified the first round bye and home field throughout the entire playoffs, you take home, you lock in that number 1 seed, then I think then you can play that kind of sitting game. But I don't think you should ever just keep the players on the bench. Keep them cold. I think you should keep them somewhat warm, have them play the first half. Even if you're losing, throw in the second guy. Make it feel like a preseason game. I mean, if you play RG3 these past couple games and he plays well, that's only a positive for you. You will be able to then turn around in this offseason, get a pretty penny for RG3. Use him as trade bait. If we like what we have with Trace McSorley, maybe go ahead and draft another running style quarterback in this year's draft. And that kind of gives us the flexibility to say, hey, if you want RG3, he can compete in camp for that starting job. He might win it. I mean, if he goes out and plays well. And this offense, the way it's been playing, I wouldn't doubt that it would play pretty well. So, when you're doing that sitting game, I don't think it should never be for a full game. You're already getting that first round bye. If you get the 1 seed, you're already getting that first round bye, getting home field advantage. Hopefully I can go to a playoff game this year. I told my dad, hey, if you get tickets, I will fly out there. Like, no hesitation. So, that would be pretty fucking cool, dude. I know this Thursday night game, another primetime game in Baltimore, which I think is going to be a thing of the foreseeable future. I think we're going to get a lot of primetime games, a lot of national eyes on us, especially next year. I think the NFL is starting to realize how much of a superstar Lamar Jackson can be if they decide to show him. He's not the superstar flashy kind of mentally, I guess, or at least, he's not out there speaking, doing crazy stuff. It's just his play on the field is so electrifying that everyone's a fan. You hear John Harbaugh talking about it, like, oh, kids are going to be wearing your jersey. Everyone loves him. Everyone wants to juke like Lamar. There's going to be songs where he's going to be name dropped in, like, I would say about 50% of rap songs in 2020. If he wins the Super Bowl, and that is to be seen. The Ravens have been playing well. They've been playing the best football, I think, easily out of everybody in the NFL, just the way they've done it. They've won a game each and every single way. The times they've lost, it's been so long that it's, obviously they have changed things up. But speaking on this game, I think a little bit more, the Jets, they are super banged up. And why it's impossible for me to kind of say like, oh, well, they got this, they got that, we got to worry about this. It's because, not only have the Jets been bad, it's like they've been cursed this year. Whatever success they might have had this year, it's been nothing but a shit show. Where you got Sam Darnold with mono, you got Le'Veon Bell recently, bowling after having the flu and it being a bad look for the team. Everybody getting injured. I think even if you were a diehard Jets fan, you couldn't name off the top of your head everyone that's either on injured reserve or possibly going to miss this game. I remember seeing a list and I was like, God damn, I don't have a fucking scroll. I don't to just roll out. This person's out. This person's out. The king. Anyways, it's like just literally like you would have to scroll through Twitter. A couple finger pumps, I guess, a couple flicks of the wrist, just to see all of the different names that aren't going to be in this game. And I was hoping CJ Mosley would play, right? I was really hoping to see that homecoming so the players can go up to him like, hey, how's that extra $4 million they promised you? Is it worth it? Like, nah, motherfucker, I spent it. I live in New York, bro. Maybe he probably doesn't even live in New York City. He probably lives in New Jersey, but is it worth it? Imagine if he decided to take the $14 million and stay with the Ravens. Imagine what this defense would be. Imagine how CJ Mosley would feel. I know CJ Mosley's probably thinking about it. He's watching us just destroy, and he's like, fuck, man. Maybe it was me. Nah, it wasn't you, CJ. I think it's just Lamar. The defense as a whole, we're struggling in the areas that you provided in the run game. I think we're still somewhat struggling. It's just that teams don't run on us because we've been ahead. Not these past 2 games, but in this game, I think it might be kind of ugly. I was at the casino on Tuesday, and I think the over-under at that casino, or not over-under, the spread was set at 15 points, minus 15 for the Ravens. Yeah, I'm a betting man myself. I think they will hit that. I think they win by 3+ touchdowns, but As a betting man, that's just too rich for me, man. No matter what, no matter who's playing, any given Sunday, right? And it is a Thursday night game, and those are always weird. How many times have analysts or anybody been talking about the NFL, and when they talk about the Thursday night game, but it's weird. It was a Thursday night game. You know how they always are. That's like a common phrase. So you never really know. So especially on a Thursday night game, no matter how much better everyone may think that the Ravens are than the Jets, it's any given Sunday, in this case Thursday. And that Thursday game is so weird just because it's such a short week. You don't know how people have prepared. I think the Ravens have definitely put in a lot of preparation before this game. That's kind of why they were a little bit stale in that last game. I talked about that a little bit when I was talking about that Bills game. I think they were already overlooking the Bills and looking on to the Jets and how they were going to prepare this week on such a short turnaround. Even though they're at home and the Jets are actually away. They're having to come here, so it's definitely more difficult on them. Plus all their injuries. It's just almost every single thing that could be stacked against them is stacked against them. The only thing you can argue for this being a close game and the Jets possibly winning is a miracle, some kind of fluke. Nothing ordinary. It would have to be out of the ordinary for the Jets to even make it a close game, really. And I feel like if you're a Jets fan listening to this, I sound like a cunty fuck, but I think you would agree that, this is just not your year. And every single offseason, the Jets get a lot of hype. I even fell into it. One thing that I think is going to be in my Bible for football, especially for offseason, don't buy hype of New York teams or the Cowboys or any of the LA teams. Don't buy any of the hype. Just kind of go with your gut, because they get a lot of airtime, a lot of talk, because they are the bigger markets. And so they hype them up and make them sound amazing. And really, meh. Like, people were talking all sorts of crazy about the Jets that might win this division. I've been surprised that Buffalo is the team that might do it, but just don't listen to the hype on New York teams, LA teams, and the Cowboys, right? Like, those are the big teams that everyone kind of hypes up. Giants, Jets, and the LA teams. I don't know if you can include the Chargers. They've been, I don't even know that whole situation. It's kind of weird, but I like the Rams, LA, and then the Cowboys, because everyone has a boner for the Cowboys. NFL does. Jerry Jones. I mean, I don't understand the hype around the Cowboys. I get, Ezekiel Elliott, blah, blah, blah. But that's not what this podcast is about. And about how much the Cowboys give way too much love, even though they don't deserve it. And they're proving that this year yet again. 11-5, 8-8. 11-5, 8-8. 11-5, 8-8. That's the way their schedule goes, year after year. It just alternates. But so like I was saying, this is the only way for the Jets to have a chance is a fucking miracle. I mean, they're going on the road on a short week, injured as fuck, not doing all that great. I think their defense is probably pretty decent, but they're in the same division as the Bills and the Patriots, and thus facing that similar schedule where they play a lot of nobodies. I know they beat the Cowboys, but we just kind of mentioned them. Meh. They have just surprise teams. But at the same time, who have they beaten that's good? I think they beat the Raiders. I think they beat the Cowboys, and that's about it. And both of those teams, arguably, not great. A year away. 2 years away. I think the Raiders are a lot closer than the Cowboys, that's for sure. Showed a lot more promise than I thought they would this year. And I think another year where they got a bunch of draft picks, I think you should watch out for the Raiders, especially going to Vegas. That is definitely a Vegas fucking team. But I can't wait to go to those games there. I hope we play them soon in Vegas. But I mean, their defense, like I said, their defense is pretty decent. It's nowhere close to as good as the Patriots or the Bills or the 49ers. So it's like we've already played the top defenses in the league. I don't see the Jets surprising us in any way. None of their players stand out. I mean, Jamal Adams does, but he's on that same list of people who aren't going to be playing or possibly won't be playing this game. They have a pretty good run defense. But no, I think our offense built off the run. If they decide to run the ball and just go after it at home with the crowd behind them, I think they can do it. And it's a night game, like I kind of mentioned, in Baltimore. I think the NFL is going to get a heavy dose of that, like I said, next year for sure. But, I mean, it gets rowdy. It gets crazy. They got the lights that flash. Apparently, they're giving out, like, LED sticks. So, they're going to be facing the rave ends, because they'll be raving. They'll be, like, raving with the glow sticks and shit, huh? You get it? Take some, I don't know. I was going to say ecstasy, but I was trying to make it sound like a football thing, but I couldn't think of anything. Nope, still can't. But, is there anybody on the team named Molly? Nope, I don't think so. A bunch of Mollies going to the game, and we be Ravens. It's Lamar. It's Lamar. Oh, killing it. Remix. All right, enough of that. I mean, I feel, I was kind of talking about the numbers before. I feel that we're gonna cover that spread. Good teams win, great teams cover, right? And I think we will cover. I think we are a great team. I did actually bet this game. I bet the over, and the over at the casino that I was at the time on Tuesday was set at 44.5. I bet the over on that bad boy, and that is a bet on the Ravens scoring 45 points. That is what that bet is, because the way this anemic Jets offense, I think statistically in almost every category they are bottom 5. Now, I say that with confidence. I didn't even look at the numbers, but I do not think they are above bottom 5 in anything, which just seems like a double negative when I say it. But, I think they're just bottom 5 in most major categories. And a lot of that, they didn't have Sam Darnold for quite a few weeks there. But I think Adam Gase, he's just not the man. They're not even utilizing Le'Veon Bell. Just in general, they've been injured. The guys that they bring in, this is why you don't sign huge free agents. I think the Jets are a great, study on how not to do things, right? Bringing in only bringing in expensive free agents, that it doesn't work that way. And I've talked about it before. You got to rebuild. You got to constantly be rebuilding. You can't just be a franchise like, oh, we're going to buy a bunch of free agents, Oh, it's not working. Time to rebuild. Tear everything down. No, you should constantly, be putting up scaffolding, taking it down. You should constantly be building this team from the ground up. I.e. the ground game. You run the ball in defense. That is the most mainstay thing in the NFL. It always works no matter what era it's been. If you can run well, you got a great O-line, you're going to have some sort of success. If you got a great defense, you will be in every single game. And depending on how your offense is playing that day, you could win. That's what you should focus on first. And the Jets, they have not started doing that. Hopefully Joe Douglas can turn around, but this is not that year. And they are not doing very well. And the Jets, they're, like I said, coming into the Ravens. Going to be Raven. And they're coming into the hottest team in the league, major Super Bowl contenders. And I think, from the start, they're going to be shell-shocked. I think before the game even starts, it's currently right now in their head, it is Wednesday night. They're thinking, fuck, we got to play the Ravens. Fuck. And I don't get off till... so the game for me, since I'm in Albuquerque, in Mountain Time, the game for me starts at 6:20. I don't get off till 7, but I will be listening to the game for that first little bit. I definitely will rewatch the game, but that's that. I heard they're wearing black jerseys. I hope they go with the purple pants. When I first saw that uniform last year, I was like, meh, I don't know. But by the end of the game, I was like, let's fucking go. These uniforms are legit. This is my shit. I think it goes anything with black pants, then the black jersey, so it could be white, purple, black, with the black pants. Those three, I haven't put them in an order yet. And then it goes, black jersey, purple pants. Probably white jersey, purple pants. Then purple on purple. I'm not a huge fan of the purple on purple. A little bit too much for me. A little too much. Even those Color Rush, it's a little bit too much. I wish the Color Rush, they did it all black with the purple lettering. That would be my go-to. That's what I would do. If I worked in the Ravens facility, which hopefully I could, that would be a dream job. Even if it's scrubbing toilets. I say that now. Give me a year, next thing you know, I'll be scrubbing toilets in the Ravens facility and be like, this fucking sucks, bro. Fuck the Ravens. No. But I mean, yeah. I would tell him, hey, Color Rush, it's going to be black on purple, I guess. Black pants, black jersey, purple lettering. Maybe some purple pinstripes. That looks so cool. Black is so in right now. Purple pinstripes, so in. The Gavins. I don't know what else to say about this game. Besides that, the Jets have been a huge disappointment. Not like they were expected to be great. It's just they were expected to be meh to better than we thought. That was their range, to be meh to better than we thought. But instead they went, ooh, that was the record. The record was, ooh, yeah, about that. Yeah, nah. That's what the record ended up being. I mean, this story hasn't been written yet, but I mean, it's not just their record, it's the way that they've played, right? So it's going to be tough, coming into our house and doing all that shit. But, one thing going for them, I saw Ronnie Stanley. I didn't even realize, did he leave the game? Did he leave the Buffalo Bills game? I didn't remember seeing him leave the game, but I guess he has a concussion and he might not play. If he's not going to play one game in this 3-game stretch, you'd hope it'd be this one, I guess. Out of the Browns and the Steelers, I think the Jets are the worst out of those two. I guess 3 compared to those two. The Jets, if you're going to lapse a little bit, if you're not going to have everybody healthy, and that's kind of what that whole debate about Lamar Jackson kind of not playing is, it's the Jets. But I don't think you can't do that. No matter what you think about a team, you can't do that. We have not locked anything up other than a playoff berth, which is awesome. That's amazing. But we should go for that number 1 seed. We should lock up the 1 seed. And then once we lock up the 1 seed, then it's whatever. Do whatever the fuck you want. Lose by about 1,000 points in the game. I wouldn't like to see it. Wouldn't enjoy watching it. But, in the grand scheme of things, go fucking whatever. I don't care. Go run outside and play in the street. I don't give a fuck. We got the 1 seed. Go kick rocks. Go sweep the dirt and have a good time. Go bowling like Le'Veon Bell. Get the flu. I don't give a fuck. As long as you're healthy by that first playoff game. I want them to come in hungry and healthy. But we don't have anything locked up, right? We don't have shit locked up besides a playoff berth. Yeah, we're going to be in the dance, but we want to be in the best possible position to be in that dance. We want to already be nominated for prom king at the dance. We want to be the favorites as prom king. We don't want anybody coming in there and upsetting us, some nerd in some fucking movie winning prom king. No, we need to be the prom kings. Or like being Carrie and being nominated by like everyone's fake nominating you and then they dump shit on you. I forget how Carrie went, but or like any one of those making fun of the nerd by boosting them up. Hey, you want to be part of the cool kids? I don't know where this analogy is going, where it's coming from, but I don't even know if it has a point. But the Ravens, they're already in the dance, right? We already have our ticket. I don't know if we've asked a girl yet to the dance, but we're eyeing for prom king. We're real jerks in high school, apparently. The Ravens apparently are jerks in high school because we don't care about who we take to the dance. We just want to win prom king. That's all that matters to us. That's all that should matter to you. You got to be great. You got to win prom king. All right, this analogy is annoying me. I'm done with it. But, we're in the dance. But let's just get that 1 seed, baby. Let's dominate our competition. And then once we lock it up, I'm all for starting Lamar for 1 half. I still want him in the game. I want him to get game reps. He's only 22 fucking years old. He needs time. Every rep still counts at that age. And I think, you could do a lot more work in the offseason, of course. No shit. But game time, like in-game reps, that's vital. That's something you can't coach. Even in the offseason, it's something you can't get. So every rep matters. How are you going to get the most production or get the most improvement out of Lamar? Is you play him every single game. I get a quarter here, a quarter there, because he's been playing so great. But you gotta play him. You gotta get him those game reps. That's why, last year in that playoff game, it was not pretty. But he started making a comeback, and it was, do you take him out? Do you put Joe Flacco back in? This is the playoffs. This is the end of your season. What do you do as a team? No, you ride with the guy that got you there. Either you win or you learn. And I think that was a great learning experience for Lamar. He came in, obviously went into the offseason hungry as hell, wanting to prove everybody wrong. Everybody talking shit. Oh, you can't do it. It was the playoffs. Everyone figured you out. Oh, yeah, fuck you. I'm going to go out and throw like the Dickens and get some shit done and run all over everybody's faces. Win record after record after record. Even passing, running, passing, team, NFL records. Whatever it is, Lamar week in and week out has been proven not only... Not me, because I've been right about him the whole time, right? But not only proving national analysts wrong, but proving the record books stupid and proving everybody that, hey, motherfucker, I am on a historic pace right now. Whether he can keep it up or not, I think that's the excitement. That's the excitement of him. That's what makes it exciting to watch and must-see TV is the fact that can he continue this legendary pace? Because he's only 22. He can improve or at least become more consistent because some of the stuff he's done, you can't get much better than that. I mean, you can't be more perfect than that. He's already had, I think, 2 perfect passer rating games. Was it 3 or was it just 2? You don't do that often. That's not a thing that just happens. That's a thing only great players do, and he's already done it at 22 years old. So really, the only improvement you can make, I guess, is consistency. Because we've seen the top of the ladder. We've seen the top of the treetops, the top of the food chart. I think that's... Either way. It's getting a little long-winded there. Talking a little bit too long. My points were kind of crisscrossing. But the main point is Lamar Jackson will be prom king if they keep playing the way they do. And that includes keeping your routine, man. That's one of the most important things. You hear players, NFL players talk about it all the time. Routine, routine, routine. All the great players have a great routine. It's because the length of the season and all this work, I imagine it gets to you, man. Working out, looking at opponents. If you eat, breathe, and fuck football, I don't know. If you eat and breathe football, I'm sure it makes it easier. But still, it's like anything. You do it for a long enough time and you're just sucked into it. Everybody has an attention span. And eventually it does wander. So, I don't know. I feel like I had a point, but... Welcome to Craving Some Raven Podcast, where points are never finished. Ravens may put up points, but I sure don't. Yeah, I gotta say, I am not a huge fan of Adam Gase. It's not because he's on the Jets. It's just, what the fuck? He wasn't good. He wasn't good on the Dolphins. Why would you give him a fucking job like that's gonna change anything? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm being too hard because of all those injuries he's sustained, right? But just look at Ryan Tannehill, what he's doing. That is what, like, the warning signs of this guy isn't your guy. Look what Tannehill was doing with him, and look what he was doing without him. You can say, oh, different team, blah, blah, blah. But it reminds me a lot of Jeff Fisher and Sean McVay. What happens when you put a good coach around Jared Goff, who I don't think is all that great? He can play great. He can throw an excellent ball. He can have a great game plan, and he can execute it. But you give him drunk Jeff Fisher, which I am 100% sure that he was drunk. Like, he is an alcoholic. 1, he's puffy. 2, watch that Hard Knocks season with him. And you tell me he wasn't hammered almost every single time they filmed him. All right, guys, we're going there and we're going to do it. All right, we're going to do it. There's one game where he couldn't find his challenge flag, and the way he was looking for it, his coat was like half unzipped. No, it was like just like, you know when you start the zipper and you just connect that one little part? That part was on, and then he's like trying to fish through his pockets, which his name deserves to be a verb because of how drunk he seemed, and he couldn't fucking find it. And he's like, this fucking coat's confusing. What the hell are my pockets? He looked fucking hammered. And it makes sense why he's been 9-7. His coaching decisions. Like, is this guy drunk? But I think Adam Gase is a Jeff Fisher. A modern Jeff Fisher, where it's not all about the run game. It's about terrible passing concepts. You know, I imagine the Jets are going to try and grab Greg Roman or Wink Martindale. They grab everyone else. You know, the Ravens sneeze on a player. The Jets are, whoop, I got you. It's fucking pathetic, bro. Nah, it's not pathetic. They're trying, guys. Come on, guys. They're trying. And they're almost part of the bird town. They're almost. The bird division of football. They're kind of in it, right? I mean, sometimes you call Jets birds. The birds and the bees. I don't know. They got wings. But most birds don't have missiles. And the Jets have a missile. Not any other players, but like actual Jets. I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling on, and I don't know what to fucking talk about, and that's why I'm rambling, because I obligatory talking about the podcast segment of the podcast, podception. You know, I plan on talking about this game, nothing else. That was the plan. I haven't paused it once. We're now about 32 minutes in, so that's not bad. Not bad at all. Because I knew I had some points I wanted to talk about. You know, I know a lot of people don't like Thursday game. I understand. Like, when it comes to the team and how you want your team to be the best. Like, I want the Ravens to be at their best when they win. But as a fan, I love Thursday Night Football. First of all, it's prime time. You get to see your team. Everyone gets to see your team. Everyone gets to see how amazing Lamar Jackson is. Well, yet again. I think they've already seen it, but this is another chance for Lamar Jackson to go out and say, hey, MVP, 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 MVP. Lamar Jackson wants some rings. As a fan, you love primetime. You love seeing your team in primetime. It's the work week. You want to have a little bit of hypeness in your work week, right? I start working on Wednesday, so like my second day of the week, I'm already watching football. It's fucking amazing. Then I don't know when Saturday football starts up. That'll be fucking dope too. But yeah, man. You hate to get ahead of yourself and start talking about playoffs. But we've already clinched the playoffs, so it's like, yeah, we kind of can talk about the playoffs. And I got to tell you right now, looking at the playoff picture right now, the team I don't want to face is the Steelers. I think at home, I think we can take the Chiefs. Now, it's got me nerve-wracked. I'm still nervous about it, 100%. But we've played them twice at their place. And that is notoriously a tough place to play. So let's see them on our home turf. And I feel confident about, especially the way we've been playing. That was early on in the season, whole different defense. We've been playing lights out since. Not lights out, but we've dimmed them. We've dimmed the lights, right? Turn down the lights. But the Steelers, they are a divisional rival. I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them in the playoffs. I don't think they have nearly as good of a team as a lot of these other playoff teams, but they've seen Lamar a bunch. And they are a division. They know us. Mike Tomlin, he's that dude that would beat us. Like, out of nowhere, coming in, rolling hot, not expecting much. These wild card teams, right? These guys that, they're not supposed to do anything. They're always the ones that make a huge fuss. I know in recent history, the stats say, the top 2 seeds are the ones making it to the Super Bowl. I get that. but it makes you nervous. A team that's coming in hot, especially a team that you see multiple times a year, and we would have just seen them. I think we played them last this year, or I can't remember if we played them week 16 or 17. But, we would have just seen them, and the classic divisional rival in the playoffs. As a fan, you kind of want to see it, but also as a fan, you want your team to win, so you don't like seeing it. I think our chances are worse when we play a divisional opponent. It's just what I think. So that's a team that I definitely don't want to face. I want to see the Patriots again at home. I think that'd be awesome. I want to go to one of these playoff games. Like I said, I told my dad, hey, buy tickets and I will go. It's a tough ask, I know. Tickets are kind of expensive, especially in the playoffs, but they've already sold some. They've already started selling them. But if I could, the first playoff game, just because I don't want to have to deal with refunding a flight and all that bullshit, but it's coming up, so we shall see. But if they win one game, they're in the AFC Championship, right? That's all it takes. You just one win. So, hey man, that's not bad. That's not too bad. And hosting an AFC Championship game, all we got to do is win one. If Lamar doesn't win this playoff game, it's like, uh-oh. Then all the talks of, hey, Lamar can't do it in the playoffs. Then all that talk starts. Now, I do not want to see that. I just want to see Lamar be great because I think he deserves it. The way he plays. I've seen this coming. It's something I saw. It's kind of why I started the podcast. I've seen this guy doing great, and I wanted some draft coverage, so I just make my own. Talked about it many times. But, it is what it is. Those pesky Jets. We got to watch out for Greg Williams, though. The defensive coordinator on the Jets. We got Bountygate coming into M&T Bank. I know Baltimore known as a dangerous city, but who's more dangerous on the football field than Greg Williams? Telling his boys, yo, get the legs. Sweep the leg, Johnny. Whatever that dude's name was in Cobra Kai. Sweep the leg. I don't want to do it, coach. Do it. Yes, I'd say. So we got to watch out for Bountygate. That's really all, man. I honestly got nothing else to say. I feel like I've said it all. I know I always think of something, but it is what it is. So with that being said, if you enjoy the podcast, please drop a like if you're on YouTube. Leave a comment. Let me know. I will interact with you. Most likely. I don't have much of a life. If it deserves reaction to, if you just say, sup, I'll say sup back. I'll be like, sup. If you're not on YouTube, or if you are on YouTube, really if you're just listening, just know I'm a podcast. I am on all major podcasting platforms, so check me out over there. That way you can lock your phone, put it in your pocket, listen to some great Ravens content, or you can just close down the app and do other stuff on your phone while you listen to my great, amazing, truly the most humble Ravens opinions. Literally the most humble. No one's ever been as humble as I am. Go fuck yourself if you think otherwise. I'm the most humble. So, with that being said, I'm a huge Ravens fan. You're a huge Ravens fan. He, she, me, we all love the Ravens. So let's hope for a good Thursday night game. And I will leave you with a go Ravens! How's that there? Go Ravens.